All right, welcome back to the Jersey History series. This is episode 10 of the series, and we're going to be covering the Florida Panthers for this video. And here's the current look for the Florida Panthers. We have the Panther head here looking on into the distance, enclosed in this shield with the word mark Florida written at the very top. The colors for the Panthers being used are navy, gold, and red. And it's a look that's, when you look in their history, previous logos, it's definitely not one of the best, but it's definitely grown on me, and I think most fans throughout the seasons of them using it. But here is the original logo for the Panthers. They come into the league in 93, 94. This look used until 98, 99. You have this Panther leaping forward, very cool perspective, very intricate design as well. Lots of shading going on with the Panther, and you have a lighter blue, gold, and red as the color scheme on this logo. Definitely one of the coolest in the NHL at the time it being used. And here are the jerseys debuted by Florida, 93, 94. These used until 98, 99. You have red as the main color on the dark jersey and white for the home. You have this vertical slanted striping going on for the sleeves with red and yellow accents as well as some navy. And then you have these kind of curved off shoulder yokes on both the home and away. And you get this cool shoulder patch as well with the sun in the background with the palm tree and stick crossing over each other. It's a very nice look to start off their history. Definitely gives the vibe of the sun and everything for Florida with the bright red and yellow colors. And yeah, it's a very solid start for Florida. 99 2000 to 15 16, the Panthers would slightly darken that blue color on the logo as well as that gold a little bit. So subtle color change here. 99 2000 to 02 03 would see that color change, and they also would slant the nameplates on the back of the jerseys having a curve to them, and we would get the first ever alternate in their history, navy being the base color for this one and the striping following along with the home and away jerseys. We also get a new logo for the Panthers. In this one we have the Panther with the stick broken in half in his hands as he's jumping out, so very cool touch there to the logo, and we also get a darker version of the sun logo for the shoulders. 0304 to 0506, the Panthers make that navy jersey their main home jersey. The red now becomes an alternate, and the Panther with the broken stick is now moved over to the red jersey, and now the home and away have the regular logo. So just some flip-flopping of the logos and main jerseys. Then in 0607, a very small change made. The curve is taken out of the nameplate, and it just goes back to the regular look used by most teams in the NHL. 0708 to 0809, Reebok takes over the designs for the NHL, and the Panthers striping changes. We now get the signature look of Reebok jerseys with the piping coming up the sides, the navy being the main color on the home, with red sleeves. Coming down the sides of the jersey, you have these half stripes with red and the yellow, and then on the road jersey, very little navy to be found, as you basically have the exact same striping, just removing the navy. This jersey looking very similar to a lot of other teams at the time of Reebok coming over. I know Edmonton and Colorado do come to mind. They also darken the colors on the shoulder patch, and it does stay the same, but this is the look until 0809. 2009-10 to 10-11, the Panthers get a new alternate jersey, this one having a navy base and a new color added to the team's history, this powder blue. This striping more traditional looking than the home and away, the powder blue hitting the ends of the sleeves, waist, as well as the shoulder yokes. And we get two new logos, the main crest logo being this panther head, a little simplified version of the look for the home and away of that logo, with Florida Panthers enclosed in the circle, and then you get the FLA abbreviation for Florida with the sun in the background. This is a really solid looking jersey, in my opinion, and one of their best in their history. 11-12, the Panthers would make some subtle changes to the home and away. The striping stays pretty much the same, but the color on the home jersey is now red, and they do remove that piping coming down the sides, as well as the thin stripe separating that sleeve striping coming down. 12-13 to 15-16, the Panthers would retire that navy alternate, so now we are just with the red and white for the home and away. 16-17, so the Panthers would change their logo, and this is the current look we still have today, but this logo not very well received when it's changed over. A lot of comparisons to more of a soccer logo. It's a bit of a corporate looking logo as well, and yeah, it's definitely not as hated as it was when it first came in, but I think in general fans would prefer the original look. Just having such an intricate and cool looking design with the original and then switching over to something like this, yeah, it's just still not a great logo. I think the original is much better, but this is still the look till present. And with the new look, we get the new jerseys as well. So the red stays as the main color on the home. You have a stripe coming through the midsection of the jersey, following along on the sleeves in white with the gold accents, and same follows along on the road jersey with red and gold. Very little navy to be found on the actual jerseys, a little bit on the collars and numbers, as well as a very thin stripe on the bottom of the waist, navy used on the pants and the helmet. We also get two kind of sleeve patches, technically not shoulder patches as they are on the sleeves. Numbers occupy the sleeves, so we have the Panther crawling on top of the Florida state flag, and then Panthers and Florida written in the text, two different versions for each jersey. 17-18, very little change made when Adidas takes over the designs. Obviously, the new Adidas collars, and then the numbers now have some perforations on both the home and away. 2021, the Panthers in the reverse retro series for Adidas go back to their original look, now using their updated colors with the navy and the gold, and they apply it to the original striping. Looks really nice, one of their coolest jerseys in recent memory, and I think it just shows they should just go back to that logo full time. It'd be awesome to see that in Adidas or whoever takes over after, but this one very well received, sold very well for Florida. And finally, in the 22-23 this season, the Panthers once again going back to their original striping, this time pulling inspiration from that Reebok alternate jersey, using that kind of powder blue as the main color, also having the shoulder patch of the sun and palm trees as the main logo, and then using that FLA shoulder patch on this one as well. I'm not sure exactly if I'm a big fan of these, but they are selling very well with fans, and looks like around the league, collectors are really liking this jersey. And that is it for the Florida Panthers. So, team has not been around too long. Just over 25 seasons, almost 30 years now. The Panthers have been around, but we've seen them really make one big change, and that was going over to this logo. In the future, when the new company takes over the designs, I'd love to see them go back to the Leaping Panther look and maybe have some new striping, but this logo here is okay. It's definitely grown a tiny bit on me, and I think a lot of other fans, but it's still going to be, not as good as the Leaping Panther. But that is it for Florida. And yeah, so thank you for watching this episode of the Jersey History series.